Good Saturday morning to you. I want to do two things this morning very briefly. Number one, read a couple of verses for you. And number two, tell you a really fun story. So the verse I would like to read is Luke chapter 6, verse 38. It says, "Give, and it will be given to you. They will pour into your lap a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. By the standard of measure, it shall be measured back to you." So it's a verse on giving, right? And then Ecclesiastes chapter 11 says it this way: "Cast your bread upon the waters, the surface of the waters, for you will find it after many days." So both these verses deal with giving and sacrificing. So let me tell you the story. A couple years ago, I was reading this book called Giant Steps. Giant Steps is by Warren Wiersbe, and it's essentially snippets of sermons from great preachers from the Puritan era in the 1600s to the mid-1900s. So it's kind of in the middle of the book, and it came upon a section on Alexander Maclaren. Alexander Maclaren was a British preacher from the 1800s, and I thought to myself, oh, wait a minute, I've got a couple books by him. So I climbed up there where I keep all my old books, my ancient books, and I found a precious book called Weekday Evening Addresses, copyrighted 1888 by Alexander Maclaren. And then I looked at the book and I held it, and I looked on the spine of the book. It had a library stamp from two people, Larry May and Herbert May. And I kind of got curious. I've never done this before, but I was curious. Who were these people that formerly owned this book? Well, I did some investigation on the internet, and I found that it was a father and son pastors. And the son, I found from Ohio, had been celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary. And it said you could send cards and letters to this address. And it listed the address of the two daughters and the son. So I thought, wouldn't that be interesting? I wonder if they would like this book back. It would be their grandfather or their father's book. So I found Tim May's address there. I sent him a letter. He emailed me back, really excited about getting the book. So here's what I did. I gave them the book. I sent the book to them. It's like, for me to give up a book is like giving up one of my children. So I sent the book off. I sacrificially gave it back to them as a keepsake for their family. Well, about a month later, Pastor Sharon calls me from the other office and says, "Hey, Art, there's a package here for you from England." So I thought, I don't know anybody in England. Well, lo and behold, she went to a place called Abe's Books, and she replaced the book for me. She didn't exactly replace the book for me. The book I gave was the book copyrighted 1888. She got me the original copy, 1877. So one of the most precious books in my library is this book. And it all comes because I gave sacrificially. Well, during this season of time, God may call you to do just that, to give sacrificially. And I'm going to ask you to be very open to that. Just be open to what the Lord says to you about giving. Know this for sure. When you give, it'll come back to you. Have a great Saturday.